By the year 2039, Earth has reached a point where the oxygen levels have drastically decreased, making the planet uninhabitable. With the absence of plant life and cities reduced to desolate landscapes, only a small population of individuals across the globe remain, relying on masks connected to oxygen tanks for survival. In Brooklyn, engineer Darius ventures out from the family bunker to clean the solar panels, while his father heads to a bookstore to gather reading material for his granddaughter. However, a mishap occurs when the father steps on decaying wood, causing him to fall through the floor and dangle from the ceiling. As his oxygen supply is damaged, he struggles to breathe. Upon hearing the distress signal, Darius rushes to the bookstore to rescue his father, but despite his efforts, the man tragically passes away. Returning to the bunker, Darius breaks the news to his wife Maya and daughter Zora. Thanks to a combination of Darius' engineering skills and Maya's farming expertise, the bunker is equipped with sufficient oxygen and plant life to sustain a modestly comfortable existence. Darius expresses his desire to bury his father beside his mother, who rests in a cemetery over 5 miles away. While Zora raises concerns about the potential risks of such a journey, Darius reassures her, noting their isolation from any other human contact for the past 3 years. In the evening, after the others have retired for the night, Darius attends to the machine that sustains the bunker, only to discover that the oxygen reserve will last only 2 months. The computer indicates that the system has been compromised, leaving Darius with a difficult decision to make. The next morning, Darius bids farewell to Zora, giving her a book her grandfather had obtained for her. Zora subsequently observes Darius' departure with the body on the security camera. Desperate to maintain contact with him, Zora utilizes the radio to try and reach him, sharing anecdotes such as his prediction of the oxygen shortage, which went unheeded, but at least he managed to construct the bunker in time. Unfortunately, Darius never responds, and 5 months elapse without any word from him. Maya and Zora must fend for themselves, endeavoring to survive on their own. They undertake the responsibility of departing the bunker and maintaining the device. They always arm themselves with a gun when venturing out, but Maya still becomes irate when Zora wanders off on her own, merely to acquire clothing. Fortunately, the bunker boasts a robust steel door and password lock, ensuring their safety for the present. Although they try to keep each other company, the absence of Darius is glaringly evident in quiet moments. Undeterred, Zora persists in transmitting radio messages, sharing memories of her family from before the apocalypse. Maya is persistent and frequently plants seeds outside in the hopes that one will eventually sprout. She also creates fake computer errors to help Zora learn how to troubleshoot any issues. Despite Zora's desire to search for her father, Maya reminds her of previous failed attempts and prohibits her from leaving. This often leads to arguments between them. One day, while the duo is outside after completing maintenance tasks, they spot 2 individuals approaching with a shopping cart. They hastily hide behind an old car and observe as the strangers attempt to access the bunker. Although they are unsuccessful, Maya and Zora find it suspicious that the strangers knew which door to target. As the situation unfolds, Tess, one of the strangers, hears a noise and cautiously investigates with her weapon drawn, while her partner Lucas searches for alternative entrances on the roof. Tess approaches the car but does not find the women. Just as she receives a warning from Lucas over the radio, Maya and Zora surprise her by tackling her to the ground. They then rush into the bunker, sealing the door behind them to prevent the strangers from following. Inside, Maya contacts the strangers via communication devices, demanding an explanation. Tess assures them that they pose no threat and reveals that she and Lucas, along with 25 others, reside in a bomb shelter near Philadelphia. Their air filtration system recently began to fail, prompting them to embark on a 3-day journey to locate Darius. Tess, who claims to be a physicist that collaborated with Darius at the university, is eager to inspect the system he invented in order to replicate it. Despite knowing the names of Maya and Zora, Maya remains suspicious of Tess due to Darius never mentioning her. The tension escalates when Zora interrupts the conversation to argue with Maya about the next course of action. While Zora is concerned about the safety of the shelter's occupants, Maya doubts the shelter's existence altogether. Eventually, Zora persuades her mother to assist, as she believes that Tess potentially duplicating Darius' technology could have significant global implications. Maya instructs Tess and Lucas to disarm and kneel before proceeding to restrain them. After ensuring they have no other weapons, Maya leads Tess toward the shelter. However, their plans are interrupted by Micah, who emerges and triggers a chaotic confrontation resulting in Micah being wounded, Zora and Maya pursuing him into the bunker, and Tess and Lucas being left outside. Upon entering the main room, mother and daughter sees the wounded Micah. Later, Maya utilizes the communication system to confer with Tess, who endeavors to clarify that the situation is merely a misinterpretation. Micah, who serves as Tess's lookout, mistook her restraint and abduction for a dangerous scenario. Maya remains skeptical of Tess's explanation and orders her to leave, prompting Tess to declare that she will acquire Darius's machine by any means necessary. Equipped with a knife, Tess liberates herself and Lucas, then announces their plan to utilize the drill. Inside, Maya and Zora attend to Micah's injury while engaging in a heated debate over the authenticity of his account. Suddenly, the alarm sounds, and the computer announces that the system has been breached. Zora and Micah attempt to inspect the camera, but Tess has obscured it with tape. Simultaneously, Lucas tries to break down the bunker door with a drill, while Tess retrieves the weapon Micah dropped. Zora swiftly devises a plan, gathering mechanical components to create a small device that she attaches to the door. By activating it, she emits an electromagnetic pulse, rendering the drill inoperative. Undeterred, Tess climbs to the roof and releases carbon dioxide into the bunker, drastically reducing the oxygen levels. As the alarm blares, Zora and Maya hastily don their masks. Maya departs to address the issue, while Zora stays behind to keep Micah at gunpoint, feeling uneasy as he speaks about his young daughter. After much contemplation, she opted to share a mask with him, but only if he answered her questions truthfully. Micah swore that they hadn't killed Darius and that Tess had actually known him before the apocalypse. Meanwhile, Lucas was supposed to wait by the door to attack, but he became distracted when he spotted something in the garage. He dragged Tess there, but before they could enter, the emergency lock engaged. At that moment, Maya climbed onto the roof and began shooting, forcing them to take cover. In a matter of seconds, the duo devised a plan, and Tess started firing back at Maya while Lucas ran toward the bunker. Inside, the air cleared, allowing them to drop their masks. Micah took advantage of the moment to start struggling against his restraints. Tess suddenly emerged from hiding, feigning surrender. However, this was a diversion so Lucas could sneak up behind Maya and start a fight that resulted in Maya's leg being broken. In retaliation, she struck him with a mop, causing him ear pain. Tess then surprised Maya from behind, knocking her out. Simultaneously, Micah freed himself and assaulted Zora, but she pushed him away by pressing her thumb against Micah's wound. Fortunately, Micah found her weapon and held her at gunpoint. Minutes later, Lucas and Tess uncover the camera while holding Maya hostage. Micah bound Zora and attempted to open the door, but he couldn't without the code. He suddenly becomes dizzy due to the loss of blood and collapses lifeless right then and there. Meanwhile, outside, Lucas threatens to shoot Maya unless Zora opens the door. However, Zora is unable to explain herself as the microphone remains muted. Fortunately, there is a nearby radio belonging to Micah. Zora uses her feet to drag it closer and informs the group that she is tied up and Micah has been killed. Tess demands Maya to open the door from her side, but Maya reveals that a special badge and code are required, both of which are inside to prevent unauthorized access. In a desperate attempt to assist her daughter, Maya eventually confesses there is another badge, but it is located far away. With a functional car at their disposal, Tess agrees to accompany Maya while Lucas remains behind to stand guard. During the journey, Maya discloses that they are on their way to locate Darius. It is later revealed that Darius, upon leaving to bury his father, had left a note explaining that the air cleaning machine could not sustain 3 people, but with only 2 individuals, there would be more time for Zora and Maya to work on the seeds. This indicates that Darius had unintentionally met his demise and did not return on purpose. Back in the bunker, Zora instructs the computer to play music, which is appreciated by Lucas. After a few hours, Maya discovers Darius' body and takes a moment to mourn before finding the required badge. As the duo prepares to depart, the car's power suddenly depletes, leaving them stranded. Tess requests the badge and code from Maya, citing her broken leg and the impossibility of surviving a return journey on foot. She also reveals that she has a personal connection to the situation, having had a daughter of her own, and promises to take good care of Zora. Maya, convinced of Tess's sincerity, hands over the items. Before leaving, Tess promises to return for Maya once she has replenished her oxygen supply. She then sets off on foot, eventually discovering a bicycle in the city that she uses to reach the bunker. With the code and badge, Tess and Lucas gain entry just as their air supply runs out. Zora immediately asks about Maya's whereabouts, and Tess relays the entire story, including Darius' sacrifice. Tess expresses her desire to retrieve Maya, but Lucas forbids it, threatening her life if she doesn't focus on fixing the machine. Tess opens a panel in the invention using a drill and finds an advanced system that she admits she can't replicate. As Lucas becomes increasingly agitated, Tess reveals that she lied about her connection to Darius, having only learned about him and his family through Zora's messages. She may be able to assist with technology in the shelter, but she didn't anticipate the machine's complexity. Enraged, Lucas shoots Tess on the spot. As Zora experiences a mental breakdown, Lucas takes advantage of the situation and asks her to teach him how to operate the machine and bunker, but refuses to release her from her restraints. Meanwhile, Maya sits in her car, contemplating her family's fate and realizing that no one will arrive in time to save her. However, she notices a small plant growing on the ground, which gives her a glimmer of hope. She removes her mask and discovers that the air is gradually becoming cleaner, inspiring her to persevere. In an attempt to recharge the car's solar battery, Maya sets out to find a solution. At the bunker, Lucas discards the bodies of Tess and Micah to eliminate the foul smell, and then searches for a can opener. When Zora refuses to reveal its location, Lucas resorts to smashing the can open. Zora confronts him about his decision to stay in the bunker instead of returning to his shelter, to which he responds indifferently. Suddenly, the alarm sounds, signaling an issue with the cables. Lucas agrees to release Zora, but only provides her with a brief supply of oxygen, preventing her from escaping. Zora makes her way to the roof, repairs the cables, and discovers that Maya was responsible for the disturbance. Following a heartfelt reunion, Zora attempts to re-enter the bunker, but Lucas refuses to open the door, seeking to prolong her suffering. The two then devise a plan to deal with their situation. Shortly after the alarm sounds again, Lucas discovers Zora unconscious on the ground. He throws dirt at her and begins to pray, only to be unexpectedly shot by Maya, causing damage to his oxygen tanks. As Lucas attempts to move, he realizes that Zora is actually awake and she causes him to stumble. Maya and Zora retreat into the bunker, but Lucas manages to get back on his feet and pursues them. He pushes through the first door and tackles them to force his way through the second door, allowing contaminated air to enter the shelter. With the alarm blaring, Lucas demands oxygen while threatening the women with his weapon. Zora warns him that shooting will trigger an explosion. Reluctantly, Lucas allows them to address the issue. However, Zora and Maya betray him by going outside and sealing the doors, trapping Lucas inside a damaged room. Fearing a slow death, Lucas fires his weapon, resulting in a fatal explosion. Meanwhile, Maya and Zora survive with their masks, fleeing in a car with limited oxygen. Recalling Micah's tale, Zora drives them through the city in search of a shelter, only to find it closed, leading them to collapse on the stairs. Shortly after, Maya awakens to find herself safe and well, as the shelter residents had heard them and rescued them. Zora now shares Darius' machine with them, and with the assistance of the survivors, mother and daughter work together to restore vegetation to the world by planting new seeds. Please like and subscribe for more video like this. Thanks for watching.